Okay, so here we are at this beautiful location. After a short drive, we have arrived. We will be walking into the woods for a while, however long it takes, I guess. So we're going to show you a few of the things we've brought. So, first thing I brought here is this battery pack so we can charge the camera so it doesn't die. Here I've got some dry clothes in this, and I've also got, that's not a knife, that's a knife. I've also got a lighter in here, and I brought some sticks for cooking over fire, so that's going to be very useful. I also brought food and water, very essential, can't go without it. And what did you bring, Dawn?
Yeah, so in the back there, we've got our sleeping bags, enough for the two of us plus our cameraman. Pillow, extra things like that. We have our decently big tent that hopefully we're going to be able to lug through the forest. Tripod and camera stuff again for our lovely cameraman. And then in my bag here, dry clothes, extra things you would need. We have our first aid kit in there. Hi guys, so it is Dawn from the future here, safe in my warm house. So I'm going to talk about what we had in our first aid kit. So I didn't take it apart and show it all while we were camping, obviously, just because opening it up in our tent or in the woods, things would have gotten lost or it would have been really hard to do and it was wet and gross. So here I am in my home, hoping to actually share that today. So this is my parents' really old first aid kit. I'm sure it did have a lot of really good stuff in it when they bought it, but that was probably in the 80s or 90s, and I had to restock it before we left. So I'll open it up and step by step go through what we brought. First things first was Band-Aids. This one's waterproof Band-Aids, that's what the box says. There was a couple of them in there, and then I just threw in a bunch of extra Band-Aids, so there's big ones and small ones, and all those different things. So that's the first thing. Next was sanitary wipes. There's a couple of those in there. That's just to, sanitize whatever before we use them. I believe this one does actually have alcohol in it. So, kill the germs. Next is gauze pads. There's some big ones and some small ones in this as well. So I didn't have, I'll show you in a second, I didn't have any of the big rolls of gauze like I hoped there would be in here, just for anything big that would happen to compress. But we do have these ones, which were sort of what we took just in case. And then this is the little roll of gauze that you can actually pull off. Then I straight up just took duct tape. It's red duct tape. There's not a whole lot on it, but I figured better than using the medical stuff that they, put in first aid kits, duct tape is probably more suited for it anyway. So duct tape for, whatever reason. Who knows what it might be used for. Last sort of really medical things, there's just a little pair of scissors. This one actually came with the set. It might be hard to see, but I'll do a little picture of all of it after. So the scissors, and then some tweezers, so same thing, they both came in the kit together. This one's literally just a face cloth. It's a rag. I made sure it was clean before we left because it's got some stains on it because it's literally just a rag that we have. But it was fully clean before we left, so this too, obviously, for compression, for whatever it could be used for, wiping something off with water, any of that. Which is in most, I think, safety things. I have matches, I have a lighter, and then also a little miniature safety candle. Extra stuff just in case. Of course, that's not super necessary as it's just a backup for the actual lighter that we took. Same with the next couple things. So I kept it in a baggie, obviously, because in case this stuff gets wet. This is just another extra flashlight. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. And then, of course, with the extra flashlight, extra batteries that I kept in a baggie as well. And in the baggie, there is another small plastic bag like this one, and then a full garbage bag for, keeping things out of water, whatever happens. Good to have that plastic there too. And so that is the entirety of the first aid kit. That's all that I took. You know, there was a couple of extra safety things in there too that we took that wasn't in the first aid kit, like all of our little pocket knife type things, any of that, extra flashlights, all that fun stuff. But that's pretty much it. So I'll show you a picture and maybe you see it on the screen now. And that is everything. Couple snacks, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and plus an umbrella. That's there just, again, in case we have to film in the rain.
I also brought a bucket for fire safety. We will fill it up with water from the river, so in case a forest fire were to start to happen, we could put it out very quickly.
And because he mentioned there, so the river, we did sort of look on the map and decide a place to try to aim around to stay back there, which is by the river, because, you know, have the water nearby for a fire and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So that's it. We'll get to hiking.
Okay, so basically we're all packed up, as you can see. We're pretty much ready to go now, and we're gonna start walking.
That's right.
See, this is the rat-infested camper that will not be getting put to use.
Yeah, we will not be staying in that, and I mean, it's right close to the road anyway, so it would be a waste.
Yes, exactly. So, this is our path for today.
It's not the nicest cut, it's not going to be the best walk, but we're just going to go along there until we find a good spot.
Yep. Okay, so, as you can see, we are pretty deep in the woods now. Trying to find a clearing. We've been walking for a little while, not super long, but
it's true hiking. There's not very much of a path. Well, kind of have to make our own path.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll check back with you when we find a decent area.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've reached the pipeline. My property runs through the pipeline and continues that way, but this is the clearest area that we could find. So the river is down there, so we're going to camp out closer to the river for fire safety reasons, obviously. But we're going to find a nice spot over here. We've been hiking for, geez, what has it been, like 45 minutes?
It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
Lots of breaks. Lots of breaks.
We took much more breaks than we pictured. Figured we didn't want the repetitive type of thing. So anyways, we've got all our stuff here. So we're going to head that way a bit more, and we'll check in when we're about to get our stuff set up.
And hopefully it won't rain. We're also watching the rain right now. It's pretty cloudy. Rain is forecasted for tonight, so we want to set up the tent and do a fire before the rain and get something to eat before that, and so that's it.
Yep. Okay, so we found a pretty nice spot. As you can see here, it's a little bit clearer. We're going to come here with the machete and clear it up some more so we can put the tent down without it ripping and stuff. But we are just going to leave our stuff here while we take a short walk down over there to the river, just scope it out, see if there's a better spot possibly, and yeah, just see how things are.
Check out our surroundings, like make sure we know where we are and what we're going to do, and that's it. So we walked for a little bit and we found this new spot. It's like a lot closer to the river, and we've also, you know, got more cover for when the rain starts. Anything else?
Yeah, so this is also going to be better because we can clear out this area and it'll be more enclosed. And the river is even closer, so
yeah,
I think it's going to be better.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yep. Okay, so basically this area around here, we're gonna have to clear out like some of these small trees and stuff like this. We'll just take them, cut them, throw them, clear out the area, stuff like that, move some tree branches and make room for the tent and for the fire pit that we're gonna make too. So we'll get to that.
Where that big thing where all those things are, we can put that in the middle of the Alright, so as you saw in the last clip, we cleaned out this area. It didn't take too long. So we're going to start setting up the tent and do it step by step pretty much.
Yep.
So there's different parts of the bag. There's the poles. These are like the hooks and pegs. We've got the actual tent itself, and then that's the rain cover. So we'll try to do it step by step. First step is untie the tent. Believe it or not.
This has become an unboxing video.
It is an unboxing video. Yeah, see, those are the pegs to the ground. That side's the front, you see the little tag.
Yep.
So obviously unfold it the best you can and map out where you're going to put it. We did bring a pretty big tent. Our parents warned us it was big. Oh well.
Okay, so now that we've got it laid out, we're pretty much ready to put the poles in. So, yeah, after we put the poles in, then we'll do those extra pegs, right? Yep. Yeah, okay, so after the poles, there's more pegs. And then we'll pretty much have it set up and we can put our stuff inside and get it ready.
Don't worry, we do have instructions. We're not doing this blind.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Poles, fiberglass poles. Save the fly poles until later. Push the poles through the pole sleeves on the roof.
Okay.
See diagram.
Okay.
So once we actually figure out which poles we need, you just gotta assemble them. They've got bungee cord rope on the inside, so they fold together and they'll stay like that. And we'll slip them in the tubes that are in the middle of the tent. Okay, so now what we've actually done is we've been putting together all the poles. We figured, you know, making a tent, it's best to get everything out of the bag that you can, other than the little bits and pieces so that you don't lose them. Get out all the big poles, assemble them, and then put them into categories. So we've got different categories here. We've lined them up. We know these are for the sides. We've got different categories here. The longest ones go across at an angle, and the middle one's going to go across there too. Yeah, so we're just going to put those through now and obviously do it step by step with you. We go only in one end.
But this end, that's, yeah. So that's the smaller end, so. We need these are both metal.
No, they're both the same. Or where's the one?
Yep, no, we're good.
No, because they have to go through.
Yeah, you gotta put it through that first. Okay.
We're kind of done. Okay, that's alright. We'll cut that part out.
No. We're not cutting anything out.
Yes.
Do you hear this? We're not cutting this out. This is staying in.
All of the mistakes that we're making.
Yep.
The continuous mistakes.
Yep.
From someone who doesn't know how to make a tent.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. Okay. Yep, so you take that end.
Sorry, crap.
Okay.
Okay. Which side was it, blue or yellow?
It's the smaller one.
Yeah, blue. So,
Now we need
if you want to come closer, you can see now that it's actually starting to take shape, so you can see where the actual roof itself is.
So this here is the cross piece. Can you go over there?
Yep. I was just making sure you caught all that.
Yeah.
Okay, across top. It's that one.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another. Oh, this one. Okay.
See?
I see which one it is. I thought this was the last pole.
So even when you lay it out and do it all organized, we still get confused.
This one is for the. I know what this is for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also harder too because it's like an old camping tent set, so where there would be like colored labels and stuff, they're all gone. So we have to wing it a little bit. Assemble the 6 leg poles. The longer leg poles with the fly hubs on them. are the front corner leg poles. The two longer leg poles without fly hubs are the rear corner leg poles. The mini leg poles are the shorter ones, starting with the front corner.
Okay, so we gotta figure out which side is this one.
This one here's the front. You see the logo? The door is going to be there. Yep.
Okay. So here, take one of these.
Yep. I'm pretty clear.
Okay.
Front corner legs. The two longer are the rear corner legs. The middle poles are the shorter ones.
So yeah, I see.
Starting with the front corner poles, place pole ends in the elbow hub of the tent. Locate the pin ring, yep. Carefully insert the pin. So what we're doing now, just to make sure you're aware, is at the bottom of the pole, there's little pins on the end of the tent. Our pole's gonna go in, the pin's gonna go inside of the pole, and that's how it's like keeping it all attached. So, demonstration, like this.
Yeah, see where this...
Oops. Yep.
See where these connect here? Yeah, to the corners from earlier.
Wait.
Yep.
Okay. This is the part where it gets tricky, obviously, because we have to kind of hold it up. Yep. And then it'll start to stay, but not quite.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so
they're gonna
there we go.
Stay only slightly. If you want to get an angle of that side.
Yep.
And Xander, maybe you'll explain the next fold.
Yeah, so the next ones, we're doing the longer ones. No, these are the longer ones.
Yep. It's the short ones, I think, are the middle.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Yeah, they must be. That would make the most sense. Because these are as long as these ones, so these must be the back two corners. So, here you go.
Where did you put the page? Did I put the page?
I don't know.
Did you see pull? Did I lose
it's right here.
under it? Oh. That's why. Okay.
So yeah, we'll just do the same as we did with the front ones with these. So get your pin in the bottom.
Sorry. Does it matter which side split?
No, there's no sense. So you get your pin in the bottom basically, and then you insert it in the top.
Yep.
There we go. And I'll get this clipped up and I'll come over and help you.
I think I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Okay. And then we just clip in these little side things down here. These buddies.
That's what actually holds the wall up so
Yeah.
the wall's not saggy.
Exactly.
So it's a pretty big tent. We won't show you like what it looks like till we're done.
Yeah. So these
Next
are the
step.
side ones.
Yep.
So go do your side, I'll go do my side.
Wanna follow Xander and just show you that side?
Yep. So this will be a little bit of a more in-depth process. So basically, there's pin down here, and this goes in the bottom to kind of hold it like that. Like this, it goes in the bottom. Put that there, then grab the top here, and then you just insert it together like that. And then there's this here that you can tie just for extra support. So I'm just going to untie the old knot and do up a new one. So there we go. And then basically just repeat with the other side.
Yeah, I got it on this side.
You got it on?
Yep. All
Okay.
good.
So yeah. And then these, I'm assuming hook on here.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's go around to the corners and get these little hooks that we're just gonna hook on. There's two more here.
Yep, got him.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, nearly. We've got this to go on the front. Okay, so basically the next part is the little rain cover. So for that, we're gonna need this pole right here and the rain cover itself right there.
Yep.
And it connects to these over here on either side. So yeah, we'll just get that on. And this one actually, does this one pin to the ground or to the tent itself?
The tent is.
Okay.
Because it's going to be hovering over
Oh,
the top.
yeah. So
hence, like, why the rain will go off of it.
All right. So we'll just go ahead and get that set up.
So,
let me check the instructions real quick.
I'll just unfold it, obviously, because we want to lay it out and see what's going on.
Okay, so there's going to be a sleeve on this that we slide the pole through. Yep, that's good.
Yeah. That was actually super easy to figure out.
So,
first thing you can do, there's Velcro that we need to attach it on.
yeah, but we need to get the this pole through the
Okay.
through the little sleeve here. You can just
Yeah, I'll help the best I can.
and then it connects to, you see that thing over there?
Yep.
So just spin it if you need to. You'll probably need to.
Got it?
Yep.
Hey, there we go. How nice. Okay, so what's the next step? Xander, tell the people.
The next step, so these little hooks on each corner, they will hook into these little bits on the corners to hold this taut. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So I think we can tie these down with the stakes. I'm pretty sure. So.
Alright. We're just taking a look at the instructions, are we?
Yep. Okay, so the next step is securing the 8 Velcro straps around each tent pole. So around the tent poles there are going to be little Velcro straps like this that we just put as tight as we can get them. So I think there should be one on each. Oh, there's 2
there's
here.
2 on each one.
Yep, okay. Yes, so each corner has 2, so that would. Then we just get these on here as tight as we can get them. It'll just help keep it more secure. I'll go do the other.
So you see there's are the guy lines here. Normally they'd be pulled taut and placed in the ground like pins. That would be to secure the tent like a lot more if it was windy conditions. I mean, it says right there, we made sure to check. It says in windy conditions. There's barely a breeze right now. We checked into it. It shouldn't be windy tonight. So we're just going to wrap these around the poles and call it good.
Yep, there's pretty good shelter here from the wind, and the ground is too soft to really put pegs in and have them be effective anyways, so
That's
all the weight of our stuff and us inside the tents
Yeah.
is going to be enough to hold it down for the night. There shouldn't be hardly any wind, and the rain is supposed to be pretty tame too, so
Yep.
should be good. So that's the tent fully installed and set up. So I guess we'll see you with fire safety.
So Xander just said he was thirsty, and we thought it was a great moment to talk about the food we brought and why, since we know that's part of the video.
Yep. So this is what I got here.
Here's our cooler, yeah.
I got my little cooler. Okay. So I'll run you through quickly what we got for the trip. So obviously we're doing a bonfire. Gotta have marshmallows. I made us some subs to bring, one for each of us, obviously. And here we've also got things like almonds. We've got some brownies for dessert. I brought some hot dogs we can do over the fire too. Some cookies. I got some nice protein bars right here. And we also brought plenty of water and sports drinks. So those are all a great way to not be hungry. And remember to drink plenty of water and fluids in general, because it's easier than you think to get dehydrated, especially when you're being active.
Alright everybody, so we're gonna build our fire now. Behind the scenes we collected some brush. We got like a big pile over there. Most of it's off the bottom of trees, like things that were already dead, just stuff that's off the ground that we know is really dry. And so we're taking that big pile, kind of cutting it up into smaller pieces so that we're able to put it on the fire when we actually make it. Other than that, of course, we want to pick a really good spot to put the fire that's going to be close enough to the river, far away enough from trees, and far away enough from the tent and our supply. So if you want to follow me over here, we're probably going to do it maybe here, maybe over there, again, somewhere that's away from that. We'll also fill up the bucket, and I'll make sure to film when we do that too, so that you know that we have our water safely next to our fire in case anything happens. And we'll go to that.
Okay, so we're basically collecting wood still, clearing out the area. I'm just cutting this up into logs that we can use once the fire is already built up and hot. It's going to want to burn things like this, so it's just what we're doing. Okay, so basically we have wood now, and we are ready to start the fire, but first we're going to take some safety precautions. So Dawn is going to clear the leaves out of the area, and I'm going to go get a bucket of water, so let's do that. So the water we're going to have next to the fire, just in case it gets out of hand, and also when we want to put it out right before we go to sleep, just all over it, it'll be gone. Rinse it out a little bit. And now, perfect. Bucket of water. Ooh, she's heavy. Yeah, that's good. So the idea too, what I did here, obviously I had to like move a spot to indicate where we're going to have the fire, but around it I made sure that there's nothing that we could possibly trip up on, to make sure that if, you know, we're walking by, no one falls into the fire, no one trips. So I think we're pretty much good, and we'll do the process of actually lighting it. Perfect. Okay, so basically the ground is a bit wet, so I have some sticks up here to kind of allow airflow under of where we're going to start our fire. It's going to be on top of these sticks. I also have prepared some birch bark and some very small twigs and some slightly larger sticks, and we have kind of a small to large type thing going to build up the fire easier. So one of the best ways to start a fire, I've found anyways, is birch bark. It's full of oils and stuff like this that can it holds a flame for longer than anything else you'll find in the woods. So you the idea is to shred a little bit of it up, get a lot of surface area. You can usually start with that. So I just got a lighter here. So once we do that, I'll put some small sticks on top. Now a lot of this isn't completely dry, so we're going to have a bit of a hard time starting it.
And the ground around it is pretty wet too. The leaves here are like, you know, they're pretty soggy, so we're not too worried about anything spreading. Of course, if these were dry leaves, we'd be a little bit concerned about all that.
So once it starts going, you don't want to put too much, you don't want to smother it, but you want to make sure it's not super compacted so the air can get in it and get some stuff on top of it so it has room to expand. So in the beginning, the fire is not going to be very hot, and so you're not going to want to use any of the wood that's still live or partly live or anything big really. You want to use small brushy stuff like this that's going to burn up easily, and that's going to take the flame easier. So And here's the part where a lot of people lose it. Looks like it's going good. You gotta feed it a lot more than you think. You gotta keep the momentum. So here's where we get some nice ones. You can lean them in TP style or just throw them on top. I don't know. I find it all works as long as they're in the fire.
I'll also emphasize our water bucket is going to be right here,
Yeah.
right next to the fire. Of course, we want to make sure like we're taking the precautions. So, if need be, our water is close by.
You really got to be quick with this because it's going to eat up all of what we have quickly. And we want to build up a nice base of hot coals. We're just going to build up the fire a bit more. We'll cut back to, our camera's going to die, so we'll cut back to when we have the fire up and we start making our food and eating. So we're going to let it burn down what's there, and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so this is the cooking over the fire section. So basically we have these, and as you can see they extend. So just pull them out. So before you put your food on them, you're going to want to take them and stick them in a very hot part of the fire. Just the tips where you're going to be putting the food. So it basically kills all the bacteria and cleans it up. Burns off any old food. So you don't need super long, a couple seconds will do. Now they're going to be a bit hot, so careful. So we'll do hot dogs first. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was singing the Clifford song. Or not Clifford, jeez.
I'm going to do two at once. Here, can you take one of them?
Yep.
So, hot dog's ready. And, well, I mean, you can imagine what you do with these.
We were hoping the fire would burn down a bit more before we did this, but we're losing light, so
Yeah.
we want to get it done before like we can't see it, and our camera might also die here soon, so.
It's optimal to cook over coals rather than in flames. You'll get like a more even cook and it won't burn the outside while the inside's still cold.
So, we know all that, we just don't really have a choice.
Yeah, it's getting dark really quick. Got nothing to sit on. Maybe next time we'll bring some chairs, eh?
Cheers.
Alright, so these are almost done. It's not like an oven, there's no timer. You cook them till they're done. I like them a little overdone, what most people would say. But yeah, so you basically don't want to stick it directly in the flame, because that'll just burn the outside and leave the inside still cold. So you want to keep it kind of around the heat for a while, and then right when you're about to eat it, you stick it in the flame for a crispier edge outside. And you want to kind of be flipping these pretty often. Do a little rotisserie if you really want.
And we'll be careful when we eat them too. We got to make sure the inside's actually cooked.
Yeah.
Not that it is a huge ordeal, but.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with these is the metal gets really hot. So you gotta let it air cool a little bit when you pull them off. You gotta be very careful. Yeah, so these are almost done. Just keep cooking them for a little bit.
Alright, so the hot dogs are basically done there now. Take them out, make sure they're good, and then let it cool off.
They're pretty much done when they start to swell and split and everything.
Yeah,
so.
if they split, you know, they're probably okay.
Yeah, so they're pretty hot, so.
And we made sure to wash our hands before we did this too, so we're not getting like crap everywhere.
Swear.
Plates, bro.
Yeah, maybe we could have brought paper plates, but. Okay, so once you're done, you basically. Yeah, I usually let this cool off before I do a second round because it's kind of dangerous putting the hot dogs on while the metal's still really hot. So yeah, we're gonna let this cool down and enjoy our delicious food.
Our like gourmet meal of a single hot dog.
Well, we've got a whole bag. We got a bunch. We're gonna cook some more. We'll catch you later. Okay, so we finished eating our hot dogs and our marshmallows and everything.
I'm eating the last one though.
Yep, she's eating the last one.
I'm contributing.
So yeah, so we're ready to put out the fire. So we've got our bucket of water here. Now you don't want to dump it all at once because then you won't have any to make sure it's all completely out. So I'm just gonna go slow here. I'm just gonna go around to where the hottest coals are.
Perfect.
I know. Okay, so I don't know if the video from our cameraman's nice camera corrupted because the camera just died. Just died while we were filming, putting out the fire. So if it did die, you're seeing this.
It's out now.
So yeah, we just want to say dump it slow, dump it evenly over the coals.
Check to make sure there's anything left over afterwards.
Yeah. Just make sure it's all completely out.
And that's it.
Yep. And we're done. Ready to go to bed. All safe.
Hey, so we look like crap. We just woke up. We're eating Cliff Bars for breakfast. A very healthy breakfast, clearly.
Yeah, so while we were sleeping, we realized it might have been in our best interest to bring an air mattress or something. But our sleeping bags were alright. It was a little bit cold, but we managed. We did have some leakage inside the tent. There was a bit of water, but it wasn't too bad. We're about to gather all the stuff and get it ready. We decided we're taking an alternate route home. That's going to be a bit easier to bring all this stuff back. So
Yeah. So, because we walked so much farther than what we anticipated, it's like really going to be way too hard to lug it all back, especially with all the trees and stuff being wet. So, we're going to get a side-by-side, bring it this way, lug it out to that, and then go home on that. So, maybe we'll film some of the travel. That's it.
okay, so what we're doing now basically is me and my wonderful cameraman are walking back down the pipeline so we can get back home and grab the side-by-side so we can bring it down the pipeline, load it up with our stuff, and then take it home so we don't have to carry it all the way back home. It's gonna make the things a lot easier. Walking through the pipeline instead of walking through the woods it's a bit longer of a route, but I figured it's better than walking through the woods when they're all soaking wet like this, especially after it rained. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of mud here, but it's not too bad. It should be about the same amount of time because we're able to walk at a quicker pace. So yes, as we're walking, Dawn is preparing some of this stuff, cleaning up a bit, and once we get back with the side-by-side, we'll show you taking down a tent and putting it away and everything. Okay, so change of plans. We went to get the side-by-side, but my parents burned the belt last night, so we can't take that. I was thinking of taking my Jeep, but we got back and well, it's undrivable right now. I'll just put it that way. So our third option was my four-wheeler. Couldn't get it started, so we're coming back. We're gonna carry all this stuff and walk back, I guess. So yeah, we just parked the car over there, not too far. We're gonna carry all this stuff through the pipeline so we don't have to walk through the woods. And yeah, we might have to do 2 or 3 trips. I think it's probably just going to be 1 or 2. But I guess I'll see you guys with with taking down the tent this time.
All right, so we're getting ready to like leave now. We have to keep our tent here because we need 2 trips. There's no way for us to take our stuff out and take the tent down because we won't be able to put our stuff anywhere because the ground's all wet. But just to go over some of the stuff that we're doing to clean up properly, we have our garbage all in a garbage bag in there, which we're going to take back, obviously, because we don't want to leave our garbage here. When we take down the tent, we're going to make sure that this area isn't too disturbed or flattened. Our fire is pretty much all burnt down, so we're going to make sure that there's not too much left of that. Luckily, we are on property that he owns, so it's not too big of a deal what we leave, but we'll try to clean up the best we can. That's it.
Okay, so we carried all this stuff back to the car. We just came from the pipeline right there. gotta go back and get the tent now.
But needless to say, our planning was not enough. This is our plan B, really.
Yeah.
But then our plan B also failed too, because the plan B was also the side-by-side.
Yeah, this is plan C. This is worst case, but we're dealing. It's not too bad. It's a lot of walking, but we could use the exercise.
So anyway, that's it.
Yep. So I guess the next you'll see us will either be being attacked by a bear or taking down the tent. So I guess you'll see.
Okay, so we're gonna take down our tent now. We're not gonna film the whole thing because we don't have any space left on the phone and it's gonna die like really soon. So we're gonna take it down. We'll show you when it's down, show you what it looks like, and then head out.
Yep.
That's it.
So it's pretty much just the same process in reverse. So you take off the rain thing, you take out the supporting poles on the sides, take out the poles for the roof, and then roll it up. It's pretty simple.
Okay, so what we did now is we took the poles off, like we said, and the rain thing was first. So, I mean, you already saw this before when we set it up, so we're just doing the reverse of that.
Yep.
We'll show you when it's all rolled up and done.
So basically, these poles for the roof come out, and then this whole thing rolls up, and we throw everything in the bag. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. All right.
That took so much effort. Okay.
As
well,
you can see, that massive tent somehow fit in this always too small for it tent bag.
Yep.
I'm sure many of our classmates had the same struggle. Getting the tent back in the bag is always the worst part. But we did it.
I think the area that we slept on is pretty okay. It's not too cleared out. We get to see all the lovely roots, which made us not sleep last night and just beat them up. No, we won't beat them up because we're conserving the environment.
Yeah,
and
mostly.
leaving a low footprint.
Yeah. So yeah, we brought all our garbage with us. As you can see, fire stayed completely out thanks to our fire safety bucket.
Fire safety bucket.
Yeah, so was there some safety tips you wanted to talk about quickly?
Well, I think safety tips are going to be another time.
Okay. Yeah, we're almost out of batteries, so you might not see very much of the walk back home. So,
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, trip evaluation take 2, because we filmed this entire thing and then all of a sudden we were looking at the home screen for some reason.
Yeah.
The camera app crashed. So let's try this again.
Okay. I'm not gonna remember what we already said.
I know.
Okay. Well, let's
Start
go
from the beginning.
Yeah, let's go over some positives. So, one big positive was the location. Obviously, it's my parents that own the land, so we could clear what we wanted to, and sort of if we needed some more firewood, we could cut some already dead trees and things like that. And it's not a big deal because we own it anyways. So that's a big positive over like government-owned land. Mm-hmm. Also, the physical specific location, like we were right next to a river. So had we run out of drinking water, we could have easily boiled some and had some more. And also there was kind of the river that was down here, and then a hill like went up, right? So like it funnels down into the river. So we were kind of up here. So while it was raining at night, the water would kind of flow down and away from us. We were staying like high and dry. So that was another big positive. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about like...
Yeah, I think, and when I said this before, it was cool too, like the location, that just getting to know it. This isn't like super relevant to the camping trip itself, but because we managed to find like that cute little area next to the river, like we knew we wanted to be next to the river just for safety reasons and whatnot. So what I did was that because we found that cool area, like we'll definitely go back there again. It was minimal like clearing, which was really nice too. Like we found a pretty suitable spot. And now that we know where it is and we have it pinged on your phone, just like on the little map, like we'll definitely go back there again. Either just to like set up a cute little camping spot, try camping again during the summertime, set up a hammock or something. Like, it's just a really cute spot. So that was nice.
Yeah. So one of the things that we would definitely change for next time is the tent. So the tent we brought, it was a good tent. Plenty of room. In fact, too much room. It was a huge tent. So I think if we had a smaller tent, it would help with like heat retention, and it would also be easier to carry, because the one we had was pretty big and pretty heavy, and carrying that all the way through the woods and then all the way back, it wasn't a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. It was, again, really nice tent. You know, my parents had that tent, so it was really good. And easy to set up too. I was happy about that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a complicated tent like you see in a funny TV show where they're like, and then they're like tied up in a knot. It was just really simple. There was minimal setup, so that was nice.
Yeah. Another drawback of the tent is that the roof in the center had a small leak in like the rain tarp thing that goes on it. So we would get like, overnight it was raining, so we would get a little bit of water that would come into the tent through the middle, in the top. It wasn't a huge amount, but it was enough to like make the floor of the tent like a little bit wet.
Yeah.
So that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, because theoretically no water would have come in. Like, it was all good. There was just a seam between, that had like a little plastic skylight in the top. So it was the seam between the skylight and the actual tent fabric that I think some water managed to drip into. But, you know, we just stayed out of that area. It was enough to just clean up, like, pretty easily. Like, there was no real water that stayed.
Yeah.